Big with Steve Bartilla. Brought to you by
with the average hunter's age getting higher. Man, I'm telling you what, ground blinds are taking off like they never have before. And frankly, you look at some of those like redneck bale blinds or their ghillie blinds, and I'll tell you what, they're more effective than they've ever been before. When it comes to blind hunting, though, there's a handful of tricks that will help take your game up another level. First, practice. If you're going to hunt out of ground blinds, practice out of ground blinds. Because you know what? If you don't, odds are you're going to learn real fast that, that bottom of that window is really great for skipping arrows off of. Okay? By practicing, practice how you hunt. Practicing out of ground blinds, you know what? You've got your sitting position, you can practice kneeling, all that good stuff, so that you've got it down when the moment of truth actually occurs. All right. And you tend not to skip as many arrows off of the bottom of windows. Next, the floor of that ground blind. Make it bare. When you're turkey hunting, leave all sorts of debris on the bottom of the ground. Because that way you can go like this with your feet and make it sound like turkeys are scratching. That's no worries. I mean, you got a turkey 5 yards away from your blind. You shift in there and they hear you. They're not going to freak the heck out just from that noise. But as it applies to big game, I'm talking four-legged creatures here. Make the floor of that ground blind pure dirt. That way you can shift your feet a little bit. Remember, that whitetail, he may be standing, 5 yards away when you're trying to shoot him. Every little noise makes a huge difference. Next, orient your chair in the direction that you feel that the shot is most likely going to occur. Yes, it is much more comfortable sitting here like this and looking around than it is sitting like this and looking over your shoulder all the time. But the key is that, again, that whitetail, it could show up 5 yards away. When it does, you aren't going to be able to sit there and get away with that type of, because they are so close and their senses are so good that all you want to do is be able to go just like this. Put your bow right off your knee. I use ground peg system bow holder. Okay, and I put that bow right off my knee. So here comes that deer. All I do is go like this, put my release on, come to full draw. That's the only movements I have to make. Minimize those movements as much as possible. Next, wear black. Camo is for tree stands. If you're and this applies to elevated box blinds as well. If you're in an enclosed blind, wear black and make sure the back is shut so there isn't sun coming through. So now you're hidden in the shadows. Make sure you put black gloves on, because man, these things stand out like they stand out. Okay. Same with a ninja hood. Okay. All good, and that applies to virtually any blind you want. Now, if you're talking a bale blind, you can go ahead and set that thing any darn place you want. Don't brush in a bale blind. That makes no sense whatsoever. It's supposed to mimic a round bale. If there's round bales in that area, the deer honestly aren't going to pay a lick of attention to it. If you're using a pop-up blind, generally speaking, you either want to set them out so that every and anything can see it from a distance. That's not my favorite way of doing it. Or tuck them in. By tucking them in, now you can go ahead and blend them in. You want to break out that roof outline. Generally speaking, what I'll do is I'll take trees with overhanging branches, clear out this bottom stuff, and stick that blind right up underneath here. Because now I can utilize that to go ahead and help break up my ground blind. Match it. If the area is not overly brushy, do not brush the heck out of that ground blind, because it's going to make it stand out. If the area is really, really thick and nasty, go ahead and brush it in really thick and nasty. Match it to the areas. Keep that floor clean. Wear black. Position the chair so that your movements are minimized. Position your bow so your movements are minimized, and blend in the blind to the appropriate level. If it is a non-bale blind, bail blinds, don't worry about them. Just put them wherever the heck you want. And have fun. Because I'll tell you what, it is a rush when Mr. Big is standing there 5 yards away from your blind.
Hunting Big with Steve Bartilla. Brought to you by
Blinds can be very effective hunting tools if used properly. Wear black inside, clean the floor, make it so that your chair is oriented in the proper position, make it so that your bow is just off that knee. So all you have to do when you spot that deer 10 yards away is grab the bow, click on the release, come to full draw and shoot. That is the goal. Minimize your movements and noises as much as possible and blend it in appropriately. You do those things and you know what? Ground blinds, they can actually be a lot of fun to hunt on.